friends, welcome to Vision English Cafe. My name is Kaylee.
And my name is Audrey.
This is part 2 of Greedy Brothers.
Do you think you can defeat us and go faster?
Let's find out.
This is the first conversation between Walter and Derek. Walter says, "Okay, I propose to make a bet. Let's play. And whoever wins takes both pieces of the coat. It's the best way to decide who will take the inheritance. Are you afraid? All right, we're going to move on to the questions." Does Derek propose to make a bet?
No, not Derek. Walter proposes to make a bet.
Who proposes to make a bet?
Walter proposes to make a bet.
What does Walter propose to do?
Walter proposes to make a bet.
What does Walter or Derek get if he wins the game?
He will take both pieces of the code, so he will take all the inheritance.
What is the best way to decide who will take the inheritance?
Walter proposes to make a bet by playing a table tennis game, and whoever wins takes both pieces of the code. It's the best way to decide who will take the inheritance.
All right, we're on to the next conversation. Walter says, "It's the wrong racket. Mine had a scar on it." All right, Kaylee, do you think they can defeat us in these next set of questions?
Let's go!
What did Walter's racket have on it?
His racket had a scar on it.
Did Derek's racket have a scar on it?
No, not Derek's. Walter's racket had a scar on it. He said, "It's the wrong racket. Mine had a scar on it."
Whose racket had a scar on it?
Walter's racket had a scar on it.
Did Walter's racket have a sticker on it?
No, not a sticker. His racket had a scar on it.
All right, here is the next conversation. Derek said, "'Cause you always used to throw it out of spite." All right, here we go. On to the next set of questions. Why did Walter's racket have a scar on it?
Because he always used to throw it out of spite. Whenever Walter lost a game, he often got angry and threw the racket. That's why his racket had a scar on it.
Did Derek always used to throw his racket out of spite?
No, not Derek. Walter always used to throw his racket out of spite.
Who always used to throw his racket out of spite?
Walter always used to throw his racket out of spite. That's why his racket had a scar on it.
All right, the next conversation. Derek said, "Do you want to switch?" Kaylee, do you think they'll be able to defeat us?
I'm not sure. We're pretty fast, but let's find out.
What does Derek want to switch?
Derek wants to switch his racket with Walter.
Does Derek want to exchange his racket with Walter?
That's right. The two brothers exchanged their rackets.
Why does Derek propose Walter to switch the rackets?
Because Walter said, "It's the wrong racket. Mine had a scar on it." That's why Derek proposes to exchange their rackets.
All right, here is the next conversation. Derek said, "Yeah, it does. I hate to admit it, but I've missed moments like that." All right, here we go to the next conversation. What does Derek hate to admit?
Derek hates to admit that he really missed moments. The two brothers played the table tennis when they were kids.
Does Walter also hate to admit it?
Yes, Walter also hates to admit that he missed the moments. He also really missed the time when they were kids. They were very happy together.
Who hates to admit it?
Both Derek and Walter hate to admit it, but they really missed the moments when they were kids.
All right, the next conversation. Let's go. Walter said, "No, I don't always have a sense of humor. I always miss his jokes." All right, Kaylee, let's do this.
Let's go!
Who doesn't have his father's sense of humor?
Walter doesn't have his father's sense of humor. Walter is not as humorous as his dad.
What does Walter not have?
He doesn't have his father's sense of humor. Walter is not funny.
Does Derek have his father's sense of humor?
No, Derek doesn't have his father's sense of humor, too.
What does Walter always miss?
Walter always misses his father's jokes. His father was very humorous.
All right, the next conversation. The dad says, "You probably think that I have decided to find out which one of you is better. Walter, I'm sorry I wanted to impose my life on you. Derek, I'm sorry I didn't offer you as an alternative to another life." All right, the next questions. Here we go. What did the father say to Walter in the letter?
He said, "Walter, I'm sorry I wanted to impose my life on you."
What did the father want to do with Walter?
He wanted to impose his life on Walter. He forced his son, Walter, to accept his way of living. He didn't let Walter live the way Walter wanted.
Did the father impose his life on Derek?
Yes, he did. He imposed his life on Derek too. That's why he said in the letter, "Derek, I'm sorry I didn't offer you an alternative to another life."
Did the father regret to impose his life on his sons?
Yes, he did. He regretted about that. That's why he said, "Walter, I'm sorry I wanted to impose my life on you. Derek, I'm sorry I didn't offer you an alternative to another life."
What did the father not offer Derek?
He didn't offer Derek an alternative to another life. He imposed his life on Derek.
All right, the next conversation. The dad said, "I love you very much, absolutely equally. Now I want you to protect and love each other, and I want you to be a family again. All right, Kaylee, are you ready?"
I'm ready!
How did the father love his sons?
He loved Walter and Derek so much, absolutely equally.
What did he want his sons to do?
He wanted them to protect and love each other. He wanted them to be a family again. He loved them so much, absolutely equally.
Did he want his sons to kill each other?
No, absolutely not. He wanted them to protect and love each other. He wanted them to be a family again.
All right, the next conversation, let's go. The dad says, "As proof, I declare to you that I have given all my fortune to charity." All right, the next conversations, let's go. What has Dad done with all his fortune?
He declared that he has given all his fortune to charity. He didn't leave his sons a dime.
What did their father declare to them?
As proof, he declared to them that he has given all his fortune to charity.
Why did their father give all his fortune to charity?
Because he wanted his sons to be a family again. He didn't want them to become enemies for the money. He gave all his fortune to charity as proof.
As proof? Who declared that he has given them all his fortune to charity?
Their father declared that he has given all his fortune to charity.
All right, the next conversation. The dad said, "Your relationship and kinship are the most precious thing you have, more precious than all the money in the world. Hugs to you, my sons." All right, Kaylee, do you think they're ready?
I think we're ready.
All right, the next questions. Is the money the most precious thing that the two brothers have?
No, not money, not the inheritance. Their relationship and kinship are the most precious thing that they have. More precious than all the money in the world.
What is more precious than all the money in the world?
Their relationship and kinship are more precious than all the money in the world.
Is the inheritance more precious than their kinship?
No, ridiculous. Their relationship and kinship are the most precious thing they have, more precious than all the money in the world.
Is their kinship the most precious thing they have?
Yes, exactly. Their kinship is the most precious thing they have, more precious than all the money in the world.
All right, you did it. You defeat us.
I didn't think it was possible, but great job. You killed it.
Amazing. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.
Bye.